Here is the list of governors and states that are saying that they will not take Syrian refugees. And a couple things. Number one, most of these governors are Republican, the vast majority, and the list is fluid. And the exact position legally and the exact statement of each of these governors varies a little bit, but it has mushroomed in the past few days. And it's going to be a political issue. I hate to say it, but it is. All right, here's the list. Alabama, Arizona, Arkansas, Georgia, Florida, Idaho, Indiana, Illinois, Iowa, Kansas, Louisiana, Maine, Massachusetts, Michigan, Mississippi, Nebraska, New Hampshire, New Jersey, North Carolina, Ohio, Oklahoma, South Carolina, Tennessee, Texas, and Wisconsin. Presidential candidate Donald Trump said, everyone be forewarned. If they do come, I will send every Syrian back if I'm elected president. Now, as of right now, in the past couple years, it's under 2,000, according to the State Department, it's under 2,000 Syrian refugees have come here. At least that's according to the New York Times. But there's refugees from Sudan, Somalia, Bahrain, police locations where there are terrorists, okay? Muslim terrorists. Ted Cruz is doing a great job. He's out there saying, listen, there's no statistical possibility that a Christian coming from one of those countries is going to commit an act of terror. So if we're going to take refugees from Syria, let's bring in the Christians and keep the Muslims out. And Obama says, oh, that's distinctly un-American. No, really, it's not, Mr. Obama. Because the people who came to this country originally were Christians fleeing persecution. Now, as history has it, they were Christians fleeing the persecution of other Christians, but nonetheless, they were Christians fleeing persecution. Saudi Arabia, I closed yesterday's show with this. Saudi Arabia will not take any Syrian refugees. None. Billy Bob and I were talking before the show about the Japanese. The Japanese have such, according to what he's been reading, they have such a stringent process that someone has to go through to get into Japan that very few get in. And I'm sure that it dissuades Muslim terrorists from even trying because they probably think, oh, it's just not going to work, so let's focus on, taking a boat ride over to Greece where I can just slip in as a refugee. Germany right now has over 90,000 Syrian refugees. 90,000. Now let's be modest. Let's think that 1% of them are terrorists. Just 1%. That's 900. 900 terrorists. Let's say that, no, Randall, that's ridiculous. It's only 0.5%. Okay, that's 450 terrorists. No, that's still way too many, Randall. Okay, let's say that 1/10 of 1% are terrorists. That's 90. There were only 20 involved in the attack on the Twin Towers. We don't know how many were in the Parisian bombings, the attacks. Maybe a cell of 20. So if 1/10 of 1% of the people that are going into Germany, the Syrian refugees that are flooding into Germany, if 1/10 of 1% of them are terrorists, that's 90. If you take 22 Muslims per cell, you could have 4 thriving terrorist cells that could launch attacks on the scale of the Twin Towers or of the Paris bombings or the bombings in Spain or the bombings in England. Are you hearing me, friends? Yes, we feel bad for the ones who aren't terrorists. But are you going to bring in known toxins? Say, well, it's just 1/10 of 1%. But that's the part that might kill you.